Ladies and gentlemen, I know most of us are wondering, why am I carrying this? I just want to feel how our lady colleagues, how the ladies feel with handbags. And some of them are always very heavy. I'll just give you a story. One time I had the opportunity of going with our lady vice chancellor to, I think it was to Botswana. So when they were taking us around, I noted that she was very tired. And then I offered to carry her bag. And then I just asked her, Professor, why do you waste, I don't know whether it is, to me it was sort of wasting your energy carrying very heavy bag. In fact, it was around 10 to 15 kilograms. And then I told her, okay, no wonder sometimes you always complain of your hand is paining. The reason is because of the very heavy handbag, because the way it is now, I feel stressed even with it, yeah? But that's on a lighter note. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of us to Egerton University, now one, and then also to welcome all of us to the CoELIB. And tomorrow I expect my colleague from the Division of Research and Extension. It can either be the Deputy Vice Chancellor himself or the Director in charge of Research and Extension herself, who will be here to welcome you officially to Egerton University. But with me, I will do my humble duty, and that is to welcome you to the CoELIB Center. I know you've heard of this center, and I know as participants in the JOY project, you know that within this program, we are supposed to be the principal hub as well as the satellite hub for the Nakuru County. And when I talk about the principal hub, it will be our duty to ensure that we build the capacity of the other hubs, one in Kakamega and the other one at Pwani University. So that will be our role as CoELIB. And I don't know why that role, but it could be because of the fact that we have a little bit of experience as a CoELIB center, because we've been doing this type of work for a number of years now. I know this is not the time to talk about our history, but when you look at our website, you might have noted that we started all the way back in the year 2008, but that time we were a project and concentrating on the indigenous livestock, and then we've grown over the years to the extent that currently, as much as we are the Center of Excellence for Livestock Innovation and Business, we have really extended our boundaries to the extent that we now deal with all aspects in all sectors of our economy. And there is a reason as to why we did that. Because when we started as a livestock center, people complained, why was it that the livestock sector was gaining prominence? Why is it that the livestock sector was being favored over the other sectors? And because of that, now we had to broaden our scope. So we deal with all sectors, ranging from the agriculture sector, all these aspects to do with agribusiness, to the health sector. And when you look at us, we deal with innovations also in all those sectors, from the health sector, the engineering sector, everything is done here at the CoELIB Center. So let me take this opportunity to welcome all of us and use this opportunity. I know it is a learning route. When you look at learning route, the description of learning route, this is a very good opportunity for us to learn. So let us learn from us, and we also want to learn from you. We want really to know what you do in your respective institutions. So feel free, interact with us. If there is anything you need, we will just be available. If there is a facility you want to visit, let us know. If there is any collaboration you want to forge with any staff member of Egerton University, let us know, and Maybe they'll be here maybe tomorrow or on Saturday. So feel free and feel welcomed to Egerton University, and also feel welcomed to CoELIB. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. That's a little bit better. Did we all have a good breakfast? That's why I'm not getting the energy, huh? Yeah, I'm waiting for them to project. Apparently, technology sometimes fails, huh? So here it has refused, but give it a few minutes. For the image to come. How many of us have heard about joy? This is not good. Huh? Huh? Ah, that's better, eh? I was beginning to get worried, eh? Victor and Tim. while the project is anchored in these 3 counties, the interaction with other actors is going to be very key, and especially private sector. Yeah? So the second one is that it is, I've mentioned that, it is integrated with ecosystem actors. So ecosystem, or the relationships between those actors and the hubs and so forth, is going to lead to success. If that relationship is not there, then there's going to be a little bit of a mismatch. And that is why we are all here as well. Apart from just knowing about the project, it's about interacting, beginning to talk to one another, beginning to create these relationships, understanding the project and where it is going, understanding the hubs and the services that the hubs are going to offer in order to improve or create the desired impact within the project. And as I said, lastly, more private sector participation, yeah? So that is basically the hub ecosystem consists of, business and enterprise sector. So we are talking about farmers, agro suppliers, tech suppliers, etc. I'm not going to go through all of them. The hub ecosystem also consists of the county and national government. Yeah? They are important players, not only in policy making, but as in creating those employment opportunities, for example. Stephen, CoELIB is here. Yeah? I know that your project is going to be involving how many youth in livestock in Nakuru? Let's just narrow it here. You see, 8,000 youth only in Nakuru for CoELIB. That's a government project, but it's also an INFAD investment. Yeah? Now, if we are not integrating or talking to each other, I don't know whether CoELIB is going to also create those jobs. Yeah? Okay? But we need to begin to have that conversation, and we need to have it very seriously. Cooperative Bank, you are also here. You have your eSoko platform, isn't it? There are a lot of private sector actors there, isn't it? We need to start talking. Because just from the small conversations we have had, or the initial, not small, but initial conversations that we have had with private sector, surprisingly, or not, okay, not surprisingly, but they are already willing to employ. They are asking us, okay, Morgan, can you give us 10 people, 10 youth, to pass through Happy Cow, for example? Yeah? But we have not yet begun the process of onboarding and so forth. But the opportunities seem to be there. And we better start talking about it, yeah? So there is research, education, and TVETs. These are all actors within the hub ecosystem that we should be talking to. There's civil society, there's infrastructure and machinery, fabricators, for example. Those are also going to create employment. The employment must not necessarily be on the farm. That if we understand it that way, then we're in a good place. It must not necessarily be at production level. It can be at processing level. It can be at another level, transportation, and so on and so forth. Yeah? And there's BDS provision, and there's also provision of financial services. And that's also an area where institutions like Coop Bank also begin to feature very prominently. Yeah? So it's about that, creating that integrated system where we are talking to each other and we are interacting with one another, so that then at the end of the day, we are creating those employment opportunities either at a macro level or self-employment. Is that understood? I mean, we will have an opportunity to ask questions. So if anything is not clear, please feel free to note it down and bring it up at some point, because then that is why we are here. We'll need to clarify these issues. And as I said, we are 8 months into the project, and now is when the rubber hits the road. Yeah, we have only in Nakuru. Yeah? There's no reason why we shouldn't talk to each other and ride on their 8,000 as well. Otherwise, who are we onboarding? The youth are this. There's also that whole process of curriculum development. Are we? And then once that is done, trainers will not only come from these institutions, but private sector, for example, Cooperative Bank, KEPSA, and another institution, for example, yeah? If you have a trainer who needs to administer some modules here or at Chamberere, you go and train there, either physically or online, the project supports. Yeah? So that we are getting a rounded, you know, the youth who are passing through the hubs, either for skilling and reskilling, are getting expertise, not only from the hub itself, but from actual practitioners. Yeah? Actual practitioners who shall also be involved in the development of the curriculum. So you see, you're involved in the development of the curriculum as ecosystem actors, and you're also administering it. And that is where all of you are coming in. So it's about curriculum development, but it's also about offering those placement and internship opportunities and the skills. So then the phase 2 hub operations, I've talked about this in passing. You can read it for yourself. There's curriculum development, all that. Yeah? So as the youth are trained and gain the skills, then the project also supports in placement and apprenticeship. So if they are going to say UNGA Limited for 3 months, after transitioning through the hubs, we are there to support their costs. Yeah? If they are going to another place for employment or placement or apprenticeship, the project supports. That is basically where I want to leave it. Yeah? I hope it's now a little bit clear in terms of how we want to roll out the model. Yeah? But what I really want to stress is that this model does not work without the involvement of all actors. If we do it the way it has been done conventionally, all of us, I think, went to school, yeah? But not all of us have gotten jobs. We are lucky here, all of us have gotten jobs, isn't it? Yeah? But how many went to school and did not get jobs? There are friends of ours still today, maybe who have not gotten jobs, isn't it? So that is that model. If we use that model of, yes, we just train, and let you go, then it may or may not lead to employment, isn't it? But this model, we want to provide the skills, the reskilling, the technical expertise, the coaching, the mentoring, the placement opportunities, the apprenticeship opportunities, so that there is always a follow-up. So out of that 1250, I will take a temperature check out of the target. Do you think we can make it? I'm not hearing a resounding yes. Okay, let's work together. I think if we work together, we will. These things are not, they're not always easy. But sometimes when we are working in isolation, it becomes much more difficult. But when we are together, interacting together, creating those opportunities, talking to each other, Cooperative Bank telling KELCOP, we have 3 here, or we have 40 opportunities here. These people are looking for these people. Yeah? The project is creating that platform and that opportunity for linkages between private sector and those seeking employment. Yeah? At a click of a button, there are 3 opportunities at UNGA. They want somebody. A farm manager, somebody in processing, and an electrician. And they passed through here. It is then easy for CoELIB to say, we have those 3. Yeah? They passed through here, the names are this, this, and this. Yeah? And that is the way we want to see it. Shamberere, the same. Yeah? You have an industry player in Kisumu, Vihiga, yeah, or anywhere else in the ecosystem, even as far as Nairobi, looking for somebody who passed through Shamberere. Your database is there. We link. So thank you very much. I know I've talked a bit, but if we didn't get that one clear, then we were not going to go in the right place. But still, there's an opportunity for questions. I am here. Isaac is here. Valentina is here. Morgan is here to answer all these. So I want to believe you're in safe hands. Sam is here to also talk about opportunities in green jobs, but that will come later as well. Thank you.
Each one of us, what is the role that we can play, enjoy. But now we are curious and excited to hear from our hosts. Wilson, don't hide there because you're up now. What is the role and what the main integrated agribusiness hub Enjoy can offer, and how these linkages can be created with each one of you, the actors in the ecosystem. Yeah? You have your presentation now? So Wilson Karimi, we welcome you as he's the coordinator of this amazing team that is helping us, and he will take us through these 3 days. Yeah, so I'm glad to leave the floor to you guys. Yeah?
He's not Wilson, I'm Wilson. Yeah, so our prof will begin. So he'll do a part of the presentation, and then I'll take over and continue the presentation. Karibu, Prof.
He was supposed to do the presentation, and then he has just hijacked me. So I will try to do the presentation. I don't know what has happened to this. I don't know what has happened. I think maybe we might have some projection somewhere else. Do you have these slides, Victor? Yes. Okay. Can you project the other side? I think I'll be able to use this. Okay. I don't know whether I can see the other side. Maybe I'll move, because there's also a problem with this laptop. Victor, it's flickering and flickering and flickering, yeah? Okay, I think we can continue. The presentation is projected on the screen, and I will do the first part of this presentation, and then thereafter I will call upon Wilson to continue. But when you look at At CoELIB, what we do, we innovate, and then we invest, we incubate, and then we empower. I remember when we were coming up with that order, we could really argue, what is this that comes first? Someone could argue that you first invest and then you innovate. But of course, in real sense, you are supposed to innovate. Of course, in the process of innovation, you spend some money, and if the innovation is viable commercially, that is when you do what? You invest in it. And then in the process of investing, of course, you really need to be trained, and that is incubation, and then there is empowerment. So next slide. So this center, next slide, please. So this center has a very long history, and I remember in my welcoming remarks I talked about the year 2008 when we had that vision of coming up with a center, and I also remember mentioning that we started as a center of livestock only. And in fact, that time it was not even livestock, it was indigenous chicken. So this is a center that has a long history of global practical training. We have a history of capacity building of individuals as well as capacity building of institutions. We have a history of developing content for institutions. They could be institutions of higher learning, or developing content for a number of projects. And then we also have a long history of disseminating what we've developed. If it is an innovation, we've done that. And I'm happy in the room we have some of our products who've really benefited from that aspect of dissemination. And then there is also, we have a long history of consultancy, and there is a long history of support to agribusinesses. And you remember what I said, we support agribusinesses and we also support other businesses in the other sector. So as I had mentioned earlier, we started at a Center of Excellence in Livestock Innovation and Business, and I'd like us to take note of how that is written. It was the Center of Excellence in Livestock. There is no comma. But now when you look at our documentation, there is always a comma. Why do we have a comma? Because earlier on, without a comma between the livestock and innovation, what that meant was that we were only dealing with the innovations in the livestock sector. But now, with a comma, what that means is that we deal with the livestock, anything in the livestock area, that is our core, but we also deal with the innovations, and these are innovations in almost all sectors of our economy. And that is why we now say we have redefined ourselves to the extent that we don't even refer to ourselves as a Center of Excellence, a Center of Excellence for Livestock, Innovation and Business. No, we are simply CoELIB. And why are we CoELIB? It's just like a KFC. When you go to KFC, do you know what it stands for? We don't know, isn't it? Do you say, oh, today I'll take lunch at the Kentucky Fried Chicken? No. We just say we are going to KFC. When I'm buying a computer, I will say it is an IBM, isn't it? Do you know what that means? It has a meaning anyway. When I want to shop, for those in Europe, you'll say, I want to go to C&A. Do you know what it stands for? I don't know. Or H&M. We don't know. So we've just redefined ourselves as CoELIB, and what we do, we just build on existing capacity. And why existing capacity? Because we believe we just have a lot of capacity out there, yeah, which really needs to be built on. And then we foster innovation, and we also do, for the sake of this particular project, we do agribusiness development. So when you look at CoELIB, forget about all those long names, what is C and what. When you look at us, why work with a center like CoELIB? I think you are all aware that we are located in a university, and it is within universities, of course, the world over, where we have knowledge being created. So when you look at CoELIB, we are simply working with the universities, because this is where this knowledge is created. And what CoELIB does, it is simply a bridge between the universities and where this knowledge is supposed to be applied. So there is the role of universities in leading knowledge-based development, and that is where we are moving towards. We want universities to be at the forefront in leading the knowledge-based development. And then why CoELIB? Well, when you look at this program, we are talking about an integrated agribusiness hub. And when you look at us, as I had mentioned earlier, we've really done a lot of work, ranging from research projects. We've done consultancy project on livestock and also within the other agri-food value chains. And then when you look at us, and when I look at one of the objectives of the project is that we are looking at business incubation, and that is what we've been doing all the years. And as I speak, I don't know how many companies we've incubated until this time. I mean, maybe Wilson can mention the number of companies, and I don't know how many youths we've trained at now. So we focus on business incubation because we feel that this is an instrument for entrepreneurship as well as an instrument for business development. Next slide. So what are our roles? Sometimes someone can ask, what is the role of CoELIB in the university setting? Or what is the role of CoELIB nationally? Or what is the role of CoELIB internationally? So those are our role. And the first one is that we enforce generation and application of science, technology, and innovation. And why we do that, we look at one of the projects that we've implemented within Center. It was a project that was specifically on science, technology, and innovation. And I remember it was funded by the European Union. And one of the activities in that project was to come up with a multi-purpose center. And that is now the CoELIB that we are talking about. So we really look at how we can enforce generation and apply science, technology, and innovation solutions. And in doing that, we also look at development of human and institutional capacities in research and innovation. As we speak, we are in the forefront of building the capacity of a number of institutions. I'm not going to mention all of them, but we built the capacity of a number of TVETs. As I speak, I think when I look at Kisumu County, we have over 8 of them. When I look at Nakuru County, I think it will be over 5. When I look at Mombasa County, we are looking at 6 or 7. We are in Isiolo, we are looking at a number, maybe 5 of them. In Kakamega, Shamberere is not part of the TVETs that we've already worked with, but within the framework of this project, I'm happy that we are working with Shamberere. So in Kakamega, we'll be having over 7 TVETs. So that is what we do. Yeah, we build the human and the institutional capacities in research and innovation, and our aim is simply to generate knowledge for use by our livestock sector and also other sectors, and this is to encourage more sustainable production systems. And then another objective or a role that we play is to accelerate the potential for innovation in all the sectors that we have. And our focus is normally the uptake of emerging technologies. We look at strategic partnership, we look at the labor market needs, and we also look at the use of the knowledge that is created within the higher education institutions. So when I look at uptake of emerging technology, strategic partnerships, as we speak now, we've gone to the extent of even partnering with the agencies that are mandated by the government to be in charge of innovation in this country. And when you look at that, I think it is sort of a very good show that the center is now recognized even within the government circles. We've gone to the extent of even training some members from certain ministries, like the Ministry of Agriculture. They will come here for a number of trainings on innovation, which is also a very good show. And then there is also the objective of nurturing early-stage innovative enterprises by providing them with all the shared facilities. Because with us, what we do, if someone has a very good idea, we will simply tell that person, can you just work on your idea and then leave all the other things to us? So we will provide the office space, we will provide all the photocopy, that we have the telephone services, everything will be provided by the center. Your work will simply be to work on your innovation. So we provide all these shared facilities, all the market development, market access, technology assessment services, and then we also link our incubatees to financial services, and we mentor and we use our network to promote whatever innovation that they have, that they want to be commercialized. And then when you look at this center, we always believe in the youth. This is a center it is led, all activities are done by the youth. I think I'm the only old-fashioned person in this center. Because when you look around, everything is done by the youth. We believe in the youth. So we empower the youth, and we do that through increasing economic opportunities. And you remember what I mentioned. We do that through also strengthening higher education institutions. We even go to the extent of sitting down with some TVET organizations. We can sit down with them. We respond to a call for proposals for them to receive money, maybe for institutional capacity building. We do all that. And we've gone to the extent of enhancing the youth serving systems in all sectors in this country. So when we look at the next slide, please, the services that we offer, those are the services. There is incubation, business and market development. And then we also do a lot of information. We do a lot of technical assistance and advice. And then we also have an aspect of research. We have an aspect of development, as well as an aspect of commercialization of anything that we develop within this center or anything that is developed elsewhere, and the innovators need our help. We can go to the extent of helping them to commercialize their specific innovations. So the next slide, I think Wilson will continue from there. He will talk about what are the services that we can offer within the JOY project under each of these services that are offered by CoELIB. So Wilson, and remember, I'm not a madman. Remember my handbag.
Thank you, Prof. I'll continue the presentation, and I will talk about the services that we are going to offer under the JOY project. And I will start with each of the services that we offer within the program, and that is incubation, business, and market development. So within that, we know that within the project, we are looking at 2 avenues of employment, that is self-employment and also wage employment. And for us, since we started, incubation has been one of our strengths. And not only incubation, but ensuring the going concerns that we support or the startups that we support are able to develop products that are able to command the market. So we are also able to support them on how they're supposed to assess their markets and how they're supposed to sell and also expand their market in terms of scalability. So in terms of entrepreneurship support and business development, we have a curriculum already that we use for the startups, and this curriculum goes for 6 months, where we have 8 sessions of sit-in classes. We used to do that for 1 year, but because of the demand and also the time that we analyzed and saw that, sometimes it will take very long time for an entrepreneur to sit in for class in 1 year while they are supposed to be working on their businesses. So we shortened that time to 6 months, and then they have 8 class sessions. So each week they come for 1 day, they do a session, they break for 2 weeks to go and practice what they've been taught, and then they come back with the assignment that they're supposed to be given as we continue with the other sessions. They cover 9 modules within that, and after that, then they are given another 6 months to come in, to use the facilities, and also access the coaches and mentors. And then after 1 year, if you feel comfortable to leave, then you're free to go out and face the real market now. Because sometimes through prototyping and doing your MVPs, because we provide those services here, sometimes we give you a cushion which is not the real market or the real situation in the field. So when you live out there now, you have rents to, bills, the real bills to pay and all that. And that will get it from maybe one of our alumni on how it was for him to transition from incubation to the real business world. Then we'll also offer support to the satellite hubs, and this is through business development and also helping them set up their operations within those hubs. This is something we've already started. They've been here. We've been interacting with them, exchanging with them, and also learning together. The other thing I've talked about is the business linkages and network for agripreneurs. As you know, Egerton is a premier university when it comes to agriculture, and I'm sure if you go to any company that deals with agriculture, you'll not lack to see maybe 1 or 2 alumni of Egerton there. So with that strength, I think we are best suited to support agriculture, startups, and also agripreneurs, and also the facilities that we have within the area. They are good for the entrepreneurs to, try and learn and also prototype with the facilities that we have. In terms of the business plan development and also business model development, we know that we're going to have different businesses. You might have the same value chain, but the businesses are different. The business models are different, but the same value chains. And for that is we see where are the linkages, where are the synergies, and where are the differences within that. So we might see different entrepreneurs working within the bean value chain. Somebody is working on seed development, somebody is working on multiplication, somebody is working on cereal, all that. So we are going to help them on that. The other thing is placement and also internships. Within the center, we offer internships. And one of the successful programs that we have is within the African Dairy Academy, where we do internship within the dairy sector. So what we do is we select or we call for applications for people who are passionate about dairy. So remember, we don't say you have to have studied dairy as your line in school, but you must be passionate about dairy, whether you want to start a dairy farm, whether you want to work as a dairy manager, or you want to be a consultant within the dairy industry. So what we do, we call them here for 1 week. They are trained on how they're supposed to go and act within the sectors that they are interested in the dairy. And then now we pair them. If it is a farm, we pair them with a farm. We identify, large-scale farms and middle-scale farmers who want to absorb them. And at the end, we've seen these young men and women either being absorbed within those farms, or they either become consultants within the dairy sector. The other thing is about the practical training. We all know when you come here at Egerton, it is hands-on. If you're doing anything agriculture, it is hands-on. We have over 3,000 acres to do that, and over 800 acres of lab work. The farm the Tartan Agriculture Park. The other thing is also the co-working spaces. So the entrepreneurs and the young people who want also to come and work and or maybe access internet when they are looking for their job, they will be free to come inside here, access the databases that we'll have developed and all that. We're going to host these databases. We'll be giving them offices. We'll have somewhere we'll be providing a space for training and also labs to actually make sure that they are able to test their prototypes. You know, agriculture incubation is different, and especially if you're doing product incubation. If you have to develop a product within the agriculture sector, within any value chain in agriculture, this is something that you have to test. It's something you have to, it has to be physical. It's not something that you can do a prototype on a paper and go test it. It is a product that you're going, if it is yogurt, you have to develop the real yogurt. If it's groundnuts, then you have to develop the real groundnuts and go with them in the market and test them. If it is beans, you have to grow them, harvest, process them, and take to the market for you to make sure that the market, you test the market, the real market. Next slide. So on the information, technical assistance, and advice, for that, as I said, we have a huge pool of experts, and within that, I think mentorship is very critical when it comes to the entrepreneurs. One of the lessons that we've learned, training is not enough for the entrepreneurs or even the people who are going to seek employment. Within your career growth, I believe most of you have had props or people hold your hand to make sure they show you what the next step looks like and how you're supposed to act and all that. So within that, we have a lot of consultancies. So we have guys who will do life skills training, if it is for those who want to actually, you know, strengthen their skills on that. We have communication experts. We have the real experts when it comes to dairy, the technical experts in this field. If it is any value chain that you think of, may it be also in terms of the innovation part, the technical innovation aspects, engineering aspects. We've seen some people develop pumps, water pumps. So we are going to make sure that we provide all these support services when they come here. And finally, we have research, development, and commercialization. And for us, what we say that, you know, research is very important in every stage that you want to go. Either you're starting or you're in the business. If you're not doing research, then it means something is wrong within your business. And it's something that we also say that product development is not the end. That is the beginning of the product development process. Because if you start then, when you go to the market, you'll find out that there are some things that you need to add, there are some things that you need to subtract, there are some services you need to pivot and all that. So iteration is part of the process when you're doing your business. And for that, we will be supporting on that and also making sure that besides the product development within the companies, we're also doing research on how the project is progressing. What is the impact? How can we change? Because I believe this is what we're doing is design thinking. We are changing as we proceed. If we see this is working, then we know how to iterate. If we see we need to change something, then we know how to do that. So through that, we have the issues also for commercialization. I know you're going to get some of the young men and women coming with only ideas only. They have an idea only. Maybe they did a project on the undergraduate or maybe in the TVET level, and they want to make this idea reality. So that is what we do, and that's what we are best in. We are going to do that for the project and going forward. The other thing is also in terms of making sure that we develop sustainable agribusiness or maybe sustainable going concerns. And these we have to be very specific. Because we all know that most of the young guys, they are not homogeneous. They are not the same. And some of them are in a transition period. They might get into the program because they don't have something else to do. And sometimes if they get something else to do, then most of what you've seen, there's a huge attrition. They leave what they've been doing as a business and they go do the other thing that they think is more, let me say, sustainable and more constant in terms of their income. Because, you know, for a business, when you're starting it, you're looking at 3 years, 5 years, 6 years for you to start, you know, seeing traction and also being able to pay yourself. So some of them are not very patient. So we end up losing a huge percentage between age 1 and age 3 of the businesses. So, but the best thing is you need to show them the future before. They need to see the future when they are starting. And that's, I think, one of the things that will help them to make sure that they hold on to the idea and push it forward to make sure that we have, you know, an international. For me, I'm seeing, why are we having so much, you know, startups that are going international from outside and not within Kenya? Our startups, their age, 5 years, gone down. 5 years, gone down. So this is what we are going. Can we have startups that are successful and are going to grow beyond Kenya, beyond East Africa, and also beyond Africa, that will originate from this program? And that is our role. The other thing also to help the satellite hubs to make sure that they're able to also do research and also be able to support businesses within their areas. That is in Kakamega, that is, we are seeing now Western region as the region there, and also within the coast region. Because as we said, we are not only going to work on the counties, we are looking at the regions. If you come to this side, we're looking at Nairobi, Kiambu, and all those areas, supporting all that. Although we know the project is domiciled in Nakuru, Kiambu, and Pwani. And the other thing is also service and product development. All these services and support from ideation to market and then to scaling up, that we are going to offer within the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kahi. Thank you, Wilson. I'm sure each one of us now would want to sit down with Wilson and with Professor or with any of their team and understand even more about their services, what is there for each one of us and each one of your enterprises and organizations. We will have the time to go into even more details on what Wilson and Professor Kahi explained, described to us as their rich experience in agribusiness development, in incubation. And I think we all might have questions or comments, but please, as Eric said, note them down, because we actually want to open the floor for each one of us now each one of you to introduce yourselves to the rest of your colleagues. And after that, we will open the floor for questions and for comments and reflections. And after that, we will go for tea. Yeah? Agreed? Yes, Eric. Yes. I finished.
Just a quick one. Thank you very much again, Professor and Wilson, for that elaborate presentation, especially on the services that you are offering. Again, I want to believe now we are getting to see the bigger picture now. It's beginning to be clear in terms of, you know, the project direction, the interaction with actors in the ecosystem, the services that the hubs offer, yeah? But mine was I just wanted to say one small thing which I forgot. I gave you the overall target. It's 1250, 825, Oh, yeah. And or is it 875, 375? 875 wage, 375 self. Yeah. Now, within specific counties, also we have targets. So for Nakuru and, you know, the ecosystem, we are targeting 500 youth here, because this is where there's a lot of potential, as well as Kakamega, a bit less in Kilifi. Yeah. So 500, 350 wage, 150 self. Yeah. I hope we can be able to work with our partners, the hubs, yeah, and other actors to get those numbers on board. So I just wanted to clarify that so that at least we know what we are working with. If we exceed that, we'll be very happy. But that's the minimum irreducible, huh? As they say. So.
Thank you, Eric. So, as I was saying, just keep your questions, because now we're really curious to know who is with us today and for the next 3 days. So, as you know, we shared with you a small template for to understand better who you are, what your enterprise, company, or organization does with the youth, and how we can collaborate further. Yeah? So, we ask you to, each one of you, take 4 minutes of your 4 minutes to share on the main sector you're in, business that you're engaged in, then the main services and products you offer, and the needs that you're for growth of the organization, or the needs for even technical and material needs for employees, employee training or retraining. Just ask us, share with us, with all this group of actors, what your interest, what your main interest is by being here, and yeah, we're very happy to have such a diverse group of actors. So I would just start asking each one of you to present themselves, to introduce themselves. Yeah? Shall we do that? So we have 4 minutes. I need a timekeeper. So I think Stephen is very good at timekeeping. Sorry, I learned your name now. And you will help me to keep 4 minutes, so that we can actually have the time also for discussion later. Yeah? And then, of course, we're together for 3 days, so we will have so many opportunities for networking further. Yeah? So, Robert, do you want to start? Thank you so much. This is, you can use this, I believe. Okay. If it's okay, I can even ask you to stay where you are, so that we have, because it's easier, just turn, look at your colleagues. But yeah, whenever you want, but you can even talk from where you are. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Robert Mwangi Kamau. I am the chairperson of Be My Partner Youth Group. It's a youth group that started back in 2018, and now we've transitioned into a company. We are now Campo Limited. The main problem that we were addressing is unemployment challenges amongst ourselves as youth back in Lare. So, and the avenue that we saw that was perfect for us to solve that challenge was through agribusiness, because most of us have access to land, and we've been cultured into agriculture mostly by our parents. And moving into that, we faced so many challenges, which we found that they were cutting across the board and affecting us also. That is the high cost of production, agricultural production. So in a way now, we came in to with more innovative ideas on how to reduce those costs and again increase productivity. So with that, we found ourselves in several value chains. So as I mentioned earlier, we are Be My Partner. So we started with beekeeping. So we realized that with that, again, it was very seasonal and couldn't accommodate all of us. So we went into poultry. So as we were doing poultry, we faced a lot of challenges, especially with the cost of feeds and such. So we came up with other innovative ideas on how to reduce those costs. We moved into black soldier fly production, where we now produce animal protein at a lesser amount. And we realized through that process, we are also doing a favor to environment in that we are absorbing a lot of organic waste from the markets. So again, we saw an opportunity within that, in that we can scale up that model and have more farmers practicing that. And for that, we can have a greater effect and even create more opportunities and spaces for job creation. So as we're engaging in those many value chains, we have several products that we are now producing. We are producing catfish fingerlings. We're also producing raw fish. We also stock our ponds. We do honey from our hives. We have about 45 hives. So we produce honey and beeswax also. And of late, we've been doing production of organic farm inputs, because most of the waste that we generate from the value addition, thanks to partnering with other partners, we got a formula of how to create organic fertilizer. And especially this season that fertilizer has really gone up, we've helped many farmers leverage on price, and again have a chance to improve productivity of their farms going forward. So mostly our target market is small-scale farmers, and for honey we do for those who are mostly health conscious. And again, to achieve all this, we've had several partners who have held our hand. We'd like to give a special thanks to Ustadi under the IFAD Vijabiz project. That's where we got an insight into fish farming. From the learning journeys, we went and saw the opportunity in fish seed production, and that's why today we are in fingerling production. We also partnered with Kenya Climate Innovation Center, which they've helped us. And also CoELIB in some way, the BSF knowledge, we've got it from here. So it's a big thank you to them. So just a minute, to summarize, we have a mission which we are very passionate about, which is to create at least 250 income generating opportunities and job opportunities for the youth through agribusiness, and again in an environmental friendly and sustainable manner. So we feel very much part of this project, and as of now, I'm happy to report that we've created at least 7 jobs, which that is about 2.8% of what we are targeting. And with now these synergies that will come along with these networks, we believe the 250, you can count that on us. We will do it here in Nakuru. So our biggest expectations is creating new networks and also improve our capacity to achieve our mission. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you, Stephen. Morgan, come join me. So, a lady now. Do you want to go next? Yeah? Okay. You can use this one. Naomi.
Good morning. Okay, I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Naomi Chebet. I'm from Shamberere TTI, that is the satellite hub in Kakamega County. And I'm happy that I'm here today. I'm happy to be in CoELIB. I also wish to inform you that I'm a product of Egerton University. Yeah, I was a student here for my undergraduate studies from the year 2010, and I graduated in 2014. And I'm happy to be back here. So I am a trainer in the Department of Agriculture in Shamberere Technical Training Institute. And I'm here with my head of department, who is just standing there. And he's gonna have an opportunity to also say something. In Shamberere TTI, it is a TVET institution. We offer education and training of the youth, because these youth, they have gone through their secondary education, and they are within the age bracket that we are targeting. That is the age bracket of 18 years and above to even 35 years. So that is the youth that we are dealing with. So we offer training to them. We have several courses, but allow me just to mention the courses that we offer in the Department of Agriculture. We offer general agriculture, that is certificate and a diploma, and we also offer a course in entrepreneurial agriculture, that is a diploma course. So we do practical training. We are equipping the youth with the technical skills that they need in production of the various agricultural, within the various agricultural value chains. And we are majorly dealing with maize. We also have dairy. We also have pigs. We also we are in the process of putting up the fisheries. So we are dealing with those value chains. We are also offering some research and innovations within the institution. I hope it's okay. 1 minute. Okay. Apart from research, innovations, we also do create external linkages to the youth in terms of placement after they are through with their courses. We create linkages of placements in terms of attachments and internships. And we also follow up that when we get job opportunities, we help them to apply and even follow up to know how they are doing in where they are working. We also have a very modern workshop, mechanical workshop, and we do mechanical fabrications. We also have a guest house. We do offer catering and accommodation. So that is what we do in Shamberere Technical Training Institute. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Naomi. Big hub. Thank you so much. We are glad that we will hear much more when we go to the learning route, because next learning route will be in Shamberere TTI. So we'll, Cooperative Bank.
Yeah, I'll give this chance to Edwin and Rehema.
Who wants to introduce what Cooperative Bank does? Thank you. Thank you, Edwin.
Good morning. My name is Edward Mwangi Chuguna. I'm a business development lead at CoBank. and I'm glad to be participating in the learning route, mainly to learn, get more insights on the Joy project, and to identify areas whereby CoBank can plug in. Just to note, CoBank is essentially owned by farmers and supports numerous cooperative societies. We have about 15 million farmers under cooperatives. I'm here in my capacity. I normally support within the Joy project. We identified 2 areas, mainly financial literacy training, whereby my colleague Rehema will take us through, and also market access. Under market access, we have a platform known as CoPSOCO. CoPSOCO basically means a digital marketplace. And it's a digital marketplace that connects agricultural value chains and enables smallholder farmers mainly to get better prices for their produce, better quality inputs, and also to access financial services from the bank. Apart from that, as we engage more and how we come in, one of the things that we pride ourselves with, which the CoPSOCO that has been so successful, we've managed to onboard like all the major input suppliers, be it for different value chains, be it the fertilizers or feeds. We also have also managed to onboard the off-takers. A good case example would be, for example, in terms of cereals. Rice, for example, we have the guys supplying the seeds, the fertilizers, and we also have the off-takers, the guys who will buy the rice. So what happens, by the time the farmer goes to plant, already there's someone who is waiting for that produce. And they are assured by the farmer being registered at our platform, the farmer will access quality inputs. So even the produce will be of good quality. So I look forward to engaging with you guys more and also seeing how we can create more job opportunities by engaging some of the players that we have on our platform. So, Rehema.
Thank you, Edward. How many minutes do I have? Oh, God.
It's okay. You can take 2.5.
Okay, thank you. I'm called Rehema Kewasis. I work at Cooperative Bank, consultancy firm that's fully owned by the bank called COP Consultancy and Bank Assurance Intermediary Limited. It's fully owned by the bank, but our main work is training and capacity building. And I'm happy to be here and get to know more about Joy. I've previously participated in other IFAD projects, KSEP and Profit. So I've been so much engaged in that, and I'm looking forward to being engaged more here. So what we offer is mainly financial advisory and training, building capacities of organizations in terms of policy development, in terms of the right skill set that you need, things to do with human resource, your policies in place, because that is where the catch is when people leave employment and you didn't have a policy to protect the staff that you have in your organizations. So we support in policy development in that area and recruitment and training of your staff. And then when we come to financial literacy, I will pose a question. How many of us are already preparing for retirement? Okay, that is where we come in. That is where we come in. It's only Professor who's preparing. I think because he's aged. Most of us think we are still youth, and we haven't planned and started preparing for it. So that is where we come in, to train on how best you can actually be able to start preparing for that, investment options, how to pay yourself in your businesses. I don't know if we pay ourselves and are able to actually save and prepare. So in financial literacy, we train on basic record keeping, on investment options, what we do. And many of us in business, of course, we do profit and loss. But in many organizations, we find ourselves in those businesses, but we have no idea of how to calculate our profit and loss. So that's where we come in. And that's what I've been doing in KSEP and Profit. In Profit, we were supporting circles in product development in the agriculture sector, different circles. We also work a lot with cooperative societies all over the country. So we support in that area. And in Joy, I'm looking forward to working with all of us here to be able to support each other in building capacities in those areas. We'll get to know more of what we do and share more and even know where to plug in the different areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, COP team. I'm going to give this opportunity to, we've talked about young guys not getting ready for retirement, right? So I'm going to give this opportunity to the young ones so that they can also say something. We have a representative of youth. They are called Nakuru Youth Bunge, Maureen and Lorna. I'm going to give you this opportunity to share.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's such a joy to be here with Joy. And I'm so glad to be in this platform today. My name is Maureen Birir, Secretary from Nakuru County Youth Bunge Forum, representing the chairman. And I'm here with my colleague. She will introduce herself. Nakuru County Youth Bunge Forum is a community-based organization that was founded in 2007 after post-election violence. It was a program funded by USAID to empower young people in activities of peace and peace initiative activities. And then during the peace processes, we were also helping young people to get their IDs with a program called My ID, My Life. And in those programs, we also realized that young people cannot be told to keep peace, and yet they are not economically empowered. So during that, we started also capacity building and training and mentorship for young people and women on economic empowerment and business development services so that they can be able to sustain themselves as young people. And over the years, we've also done a few programs in partnerships with USAID, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. Those are some of our partners. The county government of Nakuru are some of our main partners, where we link young people to the county government to access opportunities and procurement opportunities and also other opportunities that are available in the county government. We've also partnered with several banks. We've had a partnership where we had Equity come on board providing finances for the SMEs within the organization. And also we've partnered with learning institutions. Like right now, there's a program we started launching last month in partnerships with USAID called the Empowered Youth Program that targets to empower young people between the ages of 18 to 24 with business development services. And I feel that is a very good program that we can partner with the Joy program. And so far, we have beneficiaries from all over the county because we have representatives and youth groups from all over the 55 wards within Nakuru County. So the program has been a success, and we've been able to sustainably continue with our projects. Even after USAID walked out after the Yes Youth Can project, we're still partnering with them in other projects. So far, so good, and thank you so much for having me here. I'll give it.
Good morning, everyone. I am Lorna Chepkurui, working as an administrator for Nakuru County Youth Bunge. I'm glad to be here, and I'm ready to learn, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Nakuru Youth Bunge. We are looking forward equally to, tap into those opportunities and just work together and make sure that, we can leverage on each other. Sorry? Oh. Eric has indicated that he wants Stephen to go next. So, Stephen, Eric and Valentina have taken much liking to you, so I'm giving you this opportunity to
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm Stephen Nyakiamo. I represent Kenya Livestock Commercialization Program in this activity. I'm the M&E technical person, and I'm with my colleague. She'll introduce herself. So I'll just take you through a brief of what the project is all about. Of course, there's a lot. I'll just be very specific on our activity in relation to the learning route. Basically, the program, Kenya Livestock Commercialization Program, is a project funded by IFAD. There'll also be HEIFA International. There'll also be participating financial institution, and of course the project beneficiaries. Yeah, it's covering 10 counties. Nakuru is one of them. There is Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet. There is Marsabit, Samburu, Trans Nzoia. There is Kakamega, and also Busia and Siaya. Okay, and basically what we are targeting to achieve is supporting farmers, the 110,000 households, to improve their small stock. Yeah, the value chains we are going to promote are sheep, goats. We have dairy goats. There is beekeeping and indigenous poultry. And basically, in terms of what the project is going to offer in terms of service, there's a lot. There's quite a lot of infrastructure. But specifically, there'll be provision of quality breeds to beneficiaries in relation to those value chains I've mentioned. And then there will also be improvement of market infrastructures. We have water points. We have rangelands for pasture, especially for those ASAL areas. Provision of quality seeds, pastures. We have creation of livestock marketing associations. And we have a subcomponent on youth, yeah, where we'll support youth to come up with innovative enterprises within those value chains. So, and specifically the project, out of those 110,000 households we are talking about, 30% will target the youth to distribute, which those few will be distributed across those 10 project counties, of course, Nakuru, which is one of them. There are, of course, the direct beneficiaries, and there will be indirect. We're expecting, like the 8,000 I talked about, we expect that whatever they'll have benefited from will be replicated to other youths. Then, apart from that, I just want to highlight specifically on the key activities that we'll be able to support. We'll have training of young entrepreneurs. We have grants to young entrepreneurs, and of course grants for those youth startups. And specifically we'll be looking at, when it comes to training, there are various aspects of training, but we'll concentrate mostly on the animal health, where we'll train them as paravets to support the communities in these particular wards. So in a nutshell, that is what CoELIB is all about. And there's a lot I may share, but because of time, I like keeping time. Thank you very much. Ruth, you can.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth. I'm a colleague with Stephen, and I'm so happy to be here. It's my first time. I've never heard of Joy, and I'm happy, and I hope we'll be working together during this process. Thank you.
So thank you, CoELIB team. And because of the interest of time, I know maybe Stephen hasn't expounded much on what CoELIB is all about in totality. And because we are here for 3 days and he's here, kindly in those free time, kindly if you feel like there's something you need to get from him, they are here, the team is here. You can walk into them and talk to them. Moving on, I'd like to give this opportunity to Mr. Amos Koech, representing the Directorate of Youth Affairs, Nakuru County.
Okay, good morning. My name is Amos Koech from the Department of Youth, Gender, Culture, Sports and Social Services, Directorate of Youth Affairs, Nakuru, County Government of Nakuru. So the Directorate of Youth Affairs has programs that support youth in terms of, we do a lot of mainstreaming, youth mainstreaming, partnerships, And in terms of partnerships, we have partners who have been really of good help to the youth in Nakuru County. We have a partnership with the ILO and Forum Civ, and they've been good to the youth. They have done a lot to our technical institutions. They have provided a lot of technical services, and they have been doing a lot of capacity building to our departments in terms of policy development, and they have been of really good help. We also have MOUs with the KCB Bank and KCB Foundation in terms of financing of micro, small, and medium enterprises. We did an MOU and worth around 850 million, and will be available for micro, small, and medium enterprises. We also have other partners, USAID, DCA, Done Church Aid, and all these aim at empowering the youth. We have also programs on generation of decent wealth, and specifically we want to empower youth in terms of green jobs, and I think this project, the JOY project, focuses on agribusiness, and especially the rural economy and renewable energy. So it's part of the green jobs that we want to sensitize our youth on, and I am here to learn more about that. And I don't have much at the moment, but as we go on, we shall have a more in-depth analysis on the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Amos. And I know you've said, I haven't said much, but you've said a lot. And we are looking forward into, tapping into, that kitty from KCB for our youth as well, so that, we can propel them and accelerate them further. So I'll take the microphone to the far behind, to Madam Margaret, kindly.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Margaret Miano from Micro Enterprise Support Program Trust, which is MEST, a development organization that is founded by the government of Kenya and the EU, and currently the leadership has been under the Danish government. MESP has four pillars. One, we are looking at market access. We are also looking at financial access, productivity, and food safety, and the other is the green transformation. We have various programs that we are running, but more specific and relevant to the JOY program and the county of Nakuru is the Green Employment in Agriculture. That is a 5-year program that is funded by the Danish government, DANIDA, for 5 years, 2021 through to 2025. We are working with producer organizations to access market, access credit, as well as increase productivity and towards the green transformation. The other is Agrify, that is funded by the European Union through DANIDA. It was a 5-year program coming to an end next year. This is focusing on food safety in collaboration with the county government, capacity support to the ATVETs, as well as value chain actors. Within the program of green employment in agriculture, which I am championing for Nakuru, we have emphasis on focus on youth and women in the value chain, and the value chain of focus for Nakuru is the avocado and the dairy value chain. I look forward to networking with most of us within the room, because there are a lot of synergies that we could build in the development space and also empowering the youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm going to give this opportunity to an alumni of CoELIB, a product of here, Plotters Technology, represented by Samuel.
My name is Samuel Mwangi. I'm the founder of Protas Technology. As you have heard, we are alumni of CoELIB. We came into CoELIB in 2018 and we left in 2020. That is when we started beginning our operations on May 18th, 2020. We are a manufacturer of technology and technology products such as machineries, processes, systems for industries. We have a very notable product called IncuBrooder, which is an automatic incubator and brooder, which we have been selling for the past 2 years, sold over 150 units so far. We also have other products like a CNC machining system, which we have made on our own, and machines for recycling plastic, which we have also made industries, and we are making these machines for factories that do USB making, that make cups and plates. So what we are doing in our workshop. We are currently 7 engineers in our workshop, and we have won several awards as the most innovative company in 2021. And also we have won Entrepreneurship, Africa Entrepreneurship Award by Ruforum. Our roots begin in CoELIB, which we are also very grateful. We look forward into partnering with Joy. And partnering with Joy means that we are going to train the youth. So far, we have partnered with Njoro Polytechnic, where we have trained over 100 youths on plumbing, electrical, machinery, and joinery. We are looking to give these free trainings to the youth. We have had youths who we have trained and begun their own enterprises. So we can say CoELIB trained us, we are training CoELIB. So CoELIB has grandsons already, and it's something we are looking forward into establishing more enterprises, which are going to establish other enterprises. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Pelotas. I'm going to switch it up from poultry into fisheries. I'm going to give Madam Phoebe.
Habari zenu. Morning, everybody. My name's Phoebe Muna. I'm from Naivasha. I'm the proprietor of Akshewevu Enterprises, which started in the year 2012 when the ESP started. It is about 4 kilometers from Naivasha town. I engage in fish farming, catfish, and tilapia. I have an hatchery. Very soon I'll be doing production on BSF, where I will need to involve youth to do that with me, walk that journey with me. I also engage youth on archery management. I also give them attachments and internship. That's all.
That was very brief and to the point. I'll give this opportunity to Suka, Farmers Cooperative, Bwana Cyrus, to give us a brief.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cyrus Kiagayo. I represent Suka Farmers Cooperative Society Limited. We are situated at Subukia within Nakuru County. We are a dairy farmers cooperative society that deals with milk. And currently we are doing fresh milk, yogurt, and Mara products. And we as a society, we have engaged youths in milk transportation business. We normally give the border riders that opportunity to transport milk from field to plant. And also we give them internship opportunities and an attachment. As well, we encourage them to do agriculture, the business of doing dairy farming, so that they can employ themselves in this industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Suka. I think everybody has given a brief the institution and the possible areas of synergies and linkages. So I'd like to take this next step to give it to Mr. Isaac Mwema for a Q&A session, just to get a feedback on, so far, having heard from Joy, having heard from each other, what are some of the burning questions, so that we can just briefly look at them, then we go for the tea. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's one last person. Oh, sorry, Isaac. So, ATDC, sorry.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Edwin Amisi. I work for ATDC as a trainee from Engineers Board of Kenya. So, and here I'm here on behalf of Engineer Jean Morata at ATDC, that is Agricultural Technological Development Center. We help small-scale farmers and SMEs. We provide technical support, trainings. We attend also stakeholder meetings. We do exhibitions, incubations on the following areas: design and fabrication, that is agricultural machineries and equipment. We do extension services, lab services, climate smart projects, irrigation and drainage, water harvesting structures, agro-processing projects, that is under value addition projects. And finally, just to revive agro-processing projects around Nakuru, Narok, Nyandarua, Uasin Gishu, and Baringo. So I'm also here to learn, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Sorry once again for the oversight. Before I invite Mr. Isaac, a gentleman from Shamberere is indicating that he's been seen, but not heard. So I'd like to give him a minute to just say something on behalf of Shamberere.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Forrester Odongo, an alumni from Egerton University, Faculty of Agriculture, and I'm from Shamberere. I just want to add one thing that she mentioned, that at Shamberere, we also have an agribusiness course known as Modern Methods of Agribusiness. So in Shamberere, we have got the aspect of production, that's general agriculture. You have the aspect of entrepreneurial agriculture, and then you also have the aspect of agribusiness. So those three combined courses are very much integral part of this particular JOY project. And lastly, to Prof, we are down there, and you are rooted down there. So we are welcoming you to Shamberere, so that you can see what your children are doing down there. At Shamberere, we are having at least about 6 trainers who have passed through your hands. So come and see what your children are doing down there. Thank you.
Yeah, finally, he's been heard. Yeah, so thank you very much, Bwana Forrester, for that. I'll give it to Isaac for Q&A, brief. Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan. Good morning. Isaac Mwema is my name, as you've been told, from the International Labour Organization. I am working as the manager in charge of a project that my brother Koech has spoken about, the public-private development partnerships. But in addition to that, I've also been given another responsibility to be in charge of decent work in Kenya, and also task to be the contact person for the JOY project with ILO. Just before we get to the quickly question and answer, I want also to proudly say that we are happy to have poached the president of IFAD to ILO. Now he moves to ILO as the Director General, the first ever African Director General since the ILO was begun. The International Labour Organization is the oldest United Nations agency, and our work basically is to promote social dialogue, matters to do with employment, a lot of conventions that many governments in the over 187 countries have ratified, and that's the work that we're doing, basically also on skills and employment, and this is why we are here to also offer that kind of technical support, but to also walk the journey because matters to do with employment, decent work is very critical for us, and this is the friendship and the work that we are putting hands together with Procasul, IFAD, and our better and great colleagues who study on this. So, Valentina, I found it also important to mention this because I will be probably inviting some of you to participate. We've just concluded a rapid assessment on digital wages for decent work in Kenya. And the validation is being planned very soon. A number of you participated, Cooperative Bank participated, Bethany from HQ, and quite a number of you, I know your organizations were reached out, but very soon through the contacts, because it will be hybrid, both physical and virtual. We'll invite you then also, because we are about to come up with another policy which will support employers in Kenya and workers in terms of coming up with policies that will govern digital wages in Kenya. So now we are open for questions. We have had Prof. They have done very good job in terms of giving us a sort of a detailed understanding of the roles of CoELIB in this. And my brother Eric came to set pace and remind us about what JOY is all about. And so we have had also some of you mentioning what you're doing and your expectations. So it's time for questions. We take the next probably 10 minutes. Yep. Steve, you can help me in terms of time management. Questions or comments or area that you need further clarification, we are here to do that. So by people not raising questions or saying, even saying thank you is a demonstration that you are here. Steve, question? Yes, yeah. Clarified. Also feel free to do that.